So in the previous class, we were discussing about leadership, right? So we have seen what are the different aspects of management rather. What is the roles and functions of manager in first module. Second module, we saw the theories, the ethics, and the practices which brought about the management what we see today. Third module, we were discussing about planning. Fourth module was all about organizing. Fifth module was about staffing, and final module is about leading and controlling, right? So leading, directing, and controlling, all these things will be dealt with in this module, right? So the first portion of this module is about leadership, right? Leading, leadership. What is leadership? So leadership can be defined or it can be said as an art. Okay, it's an art or a process of influencing people so that they will strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of group goals, right? So what do you mean by leadership? So leadership is basically a process. Okay? It's an art of doing what? We are influencing people so that they will strive willingly. That means they will try by themselves. Okay, willingly and enthusiastically. Okay, they are putting in more and more interest with interest towards the achievement of group goals. So basically, we know management means we are creating an environment, right, in which people work together to reach the organization goals. Okay, so leadership means the people are doing that willingly and enthusiastically, right? We can do make some people make a people do something out of fear also, right? Because of fear, people may do that. But what is the problem over there? When somebody is doing something out of fear, they will do the absolute minimum, right? What is the minimum requirement for that job? They'll finish it and they'll leave, right? But is it good for an organization? No. And the leader should never allow such a situation to happen, right? So the workers, the subordinates, they will have feeling for whom should I work? For him? No, this much is enough. Okay, this much is enough. That is a very dangerous mindset. Okay, that's a very dangerous statement for anywhere. This much is enough. Okay, always we should go beyond that, right? So what is the principle of leadership? Principle is that people tend to follow those who offer them a means of satisfying their personal goals. Okay, so every individual, every single one will have their own agenda, right? Everyone will have their own goals. Okay? We need something. I have some needs. Every single person will have a need. Okay, any living body will have a need. So, uh, what is the leadership then? Leadership means people have a mindset of satisfying their needs. Okay, so a leader is the one. Okay, or a manager should understand this mindset. Okay, to understand what motivates this subordinate. Okay, and whenever the manager makes a decision, that should reflect his motivation. Right? Suppose we are having a job has come up. Okay, so we have something in like maybe okay some a work has come up. There is some design designing is there, and it has got some involved in some coding is there. Okay? So some like GUI interface or something you have to design and you have to do that. So a manager should know what the subordinates need. Okay, so there might be people who are interested in interface design, right? There may be people who are interested in graphics design. Okay, there might be people who are interested in more and more coding. They need to try practice more and more coding. They need to try out more and more coding, right? So whenever when an opportunity comes up, the manager should make a decision such that uh, that the person who is interested in interface design gets that job. Okay, so he should assign the person who is interested in interface design itself. Okay, so that person wants to design this. He needs to move up, right? He needs to get more and more experience in that sector. He needs to develop in that sector. So the manager should identify that is his motivation. That he wants to become a designer. Okay, so he should assign him more and more tasks like that. So that will have what will happen. He wants to learn that. Okay, he wants to perform that job. Right? So he will be doing it willingly, and he will be doing it more and more with more and more enthusiasm. Right? So that is the principle of leadership. Okay? And if the manager can do that, okay, the manager can do that, he becomes a good leader. Okay? Now, what is the difference between managing and leading? So we leading as we said, it is a process of influencing people so that they'll contribute to the organization goal willingly and enthusiastically, right? And what is managing? Managing means we are creating and maintaining an environment. Okay? Managing means we are creating and maintaining an environment in which the people working together in groups can accomplish the common objective, right? So leading means we are people are motivated. So people are influenced to do the job so that we can meet our organization goal. And managing means we are creating an environment, we are maintaining an environment in which people can work together so that they can accomplish the goal. Understood the difference? One is we're creating an environment so that people can do the job, and the leading means we are influencing people so that they will do the job more willingly and more enthusiastically. Right? So that is the difference between leading and managing. Okay. Now, we cannot say they are different, but leading is we are just supplementing. Okay, leading is a part of being a manager. It's one of the managerial functions, right? Now, the other difference is leadership can exist in unorganized groups. Okay, within your friend circle itself, there will be someone who leads you. Okay, we call like Talevi or Talevan. We say that, right? There might be a person who leads. So he or she may not be officially you are given a position, but no, finally everyone listen to him or her. That kind of person will be there. So in your group, there is no organization, right? Your guys are not organized, but even then there is a leadership. Leadership may exist, but managing or will exist only for an organized structure. Okay, only in a company or in a college or school, wherever there is an organized structure, there will be a managing. There will be managing to be done. Okay, we know organization means something which is the result of organizing. Okay? Organizing is the result of organizing. Okay? Organization is the result of organizing, right? Then, what is the role of manager? Managers are required to plan, organize, direct, and control. Okay? All the managerial functions. And what is the leader? Leader develops a vision and strategy and gets others to follow him, right? What happens is the manager is one who will plan, who will organize, who will direct, who will control. That means whenever we are going, we are out of way. Okay, we started doing with the aim of doing 100 pens. Okay, and if we are not going in that direction, the manager is the one who has to control, he has to redirect so that we go in the path for making 100 pens. Okay, that's the manager's duty. Now, what is the leader's job? Leader's job is to develop a vision and strategy and get others to follow him. Okay, so manager said we need to produce 100 pens. Now, leader and manager will make a environment for the making of 100 pens also. That's possible. That making of 100 pens is possible. Okay? The manager will create such a situation. Now, what is the leader vision? Okay, sorry. What does the leader do? Leader will create or develop a vision. Okay, we need to create 100 pens. Okay, what is the strategy to be adopted? All the things will be done by the leader, right? So managers are essential for meeting the goals, while leaders are essential for moving the organization forward. Right? So manager is the one who does all the job, right? So meeting the goal will depend upon the manager, and moving the organization forward will depend upon the leader. So, right? So managers explain what we have to do, while the leaders explain where we are going. Where manager will tell us what we have to do. Okay? He is task oriented and doing things right. Okay? We need to 1,100 pens has to be made. That is the task that is the right thing to do, right? But leader creates a vision. Okay, he tells us where we are going. Okay, we make sure that we are doing the right things. So that is the difference between leading and managing. Clear? If you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay. Next, we look into the different approaches to leadership. Okay, so one such approach is trait approach. So trait means your characteristics, your ability, your attribute. Anything can be said as trait, right? What you are, what makes you. That's your trait. Okay. So what happened in trait approaches? Its leadership is based on what the researchers did. They studied the both successful and unsuccessful leaders. not only successful but also unsuccessful leaders also, and they identify certain traits, okay, certain characteristics in those leaders, okay? And those traits are used to predict the effectiveness of the leadership. Okay? Did that particular trait in him make him a good leader? He's a good orator, so he's a good leader. He's very bad in speaking, so he's a bad leader. So like that, okay? Identified some trait and whether that made him successful or not. So that was done by some researchers were studied that. Okay, and researchers identified many traits. Okay, there are many are there. Among them, physical traits were there. There were 5 in number, and physical traits were like its appearance, its energy, its height, all those things. Physically, what does it manifest? Those traits were identified. Then intelligence and ability traits. Okay, then personality traits. Personality, intelligence and ability traits. There were 4 in number. Okay, then 16 personality traits. That is, his adaptability, his aggressiveness, his enthusiasm, right? His self-confidence, all these things came there. Okay, in personality. Then 6 task related. Task related characteristics such as achievement, drive, achievements, his drive, persistence, his initiative, all those things. And 9 social characteristics such as cooperativeness, interpersonal skills, administrative ability. So they made a list. The researchers made a list of all these traits, okay? And they grouped them. Okay, like we were doing the job design. Okay? We identified what are the jobs are to be done, tasks has to be done, then we grouped them. Right, that was job design. Similarly, they identified the different traits in the successful and unsuccessful trait leaders, and they made a list. And finally, what they did, they grouped them. Right, 5 physical traits, 4 intelligence traits, 16 personality traits, then 6 task related, 9 social. So they made it a group. Okay? And they said that these are the traits which you have to look for. And among from that, some key traits were identified. Okay, many are there. So among them, some of the key ones. Okay, what are they? First one is drive. That includes achievement. Okay, what are these achievements? Okay, what is his motivation? Okay, what is his energy? How good is he? So we are combining them. Right? What are his ambitions? What is his initiative? Okay, what is tenacity? Tenacity means the ability to move forward. Okay, even if something happens to him, he will not fall down. He'll get up again and move forward. That is tenacity. Okay? So tenacity, all these things were included in drive. Then what is his leadership motivation? Why do he want to be a leader? Okay, so the aspiration to lead, but not to seek power. Okay, the movie, like we said, right? The hero, the so-called hero was there. He was trying to become the leader, chief minister or something. But what we saw was he wanted to help people. But what was his agenda? He wanted to get into power, right? That is the case. So what are his leadership motivation? Whether he's seeking power or whether he genuinely want to help people or organization. Okay, that to be understood. Then honesty and integrity. That's a very important thing. See, I will follow someone who is honest. Okay? Otherwise, I will never follow. If I feel that this person is dishonest, I will never agree to what he says. I will be always having a doubt about his motives. Okay? So a good leader should be honest and have integrity. Okay? Then self-confidence. That's also a very important thing. Because what happens is he will project himself as a good leader. Okay, we will see that he's having good self-confidence. Okay, very good. But when a situation comes, when everything is going good, he will be excellent leader. But what happens is when the situation turns bad, okay, when anything bad happens, he might not be able to do what he might not be able to perform well. Okay, he might break down. We'll say mental breakdown and all, right. He might break down. So his emotional stability, that has to be also identified. Then cognitive ability and understanding of the business. How well he thinks. What is his thought process? Okay. Whether he can make quick decisions or not. That thing has to be understood. Cognitive ability and an understanding of the business. Even if you are going for an interview, there will be a question related to the company where you work, right? So what did you see? in our company, so that made you join us, that made you try to join us. Right? So that kind of questions will be there. So you should have an understanding of the business also. Yeah. So what are the traits we have to look for? What is drive? Is leadership motivation? Then honesty and integrity, self-confidence, cognitive ability, understanding of the business. Like 6 or 7 traits we have to look into a person who we are choosing to be a leader. Right? So then what has been done is these traits are compared. Okay? We know a person is there who's potential leader is there. We compare his traits with the already known traits and we see how well does it match. And that will give us an indication whether he will succeed or fail. Right? So basically this gives a constructive information about the leadership. So managers can evaluate their position and assess how it can be made stronger. Okay. So I, as someone who is looking for a leader, can use this trait for identifying good leaders. Okay. But at the same time, somebody who wants to be a leader can also improve themselves. Okay. Improve themselves so that uh, they can get these traits and become a better leader. Okay. So leaders, we say he's a born leader. Okay. If you was born to lead, that is a possibility. Yes, there is, but there are people who becomes leader also. Okay. Improving themselves, they can become leader. Okay. But the problem with this approach is, so these are the what is the advantage of this approach? It gives us a constructive information. Okay. It gives us an information about the leadership. Positive. So what are the positive things we have to look into? Constructive information is very given. Now, what are the issues with this? What are the faults in this approach? It gives us no guidance such how much of any trait a person should have, right? See, we are saying that he should have drive, he should have self-confidence, he should have honesty and integrity. Everything has been said, but how much is needed? That has not been said. So we know, always we say there's a very thin line between confidence and overconfidence. Okay? So that we have to identify what is the situation. Okay? But also the second thing is, see, these traits were identified by certain researchers. Okay? So there is no general consensus among the researchers. There is no agreement among the researchers about the relationship between the traits and leadership. Right? Why is it so? Because we have seen that there are good leaders who doesn't have all these traits. Okay, there might one of the traits is physical height is a trait, but there are leaders who are of short stature, right? Who are being exceptional leaders. So not all leaders possess all these traits, and many non-leaders may possess most of these traits also. Okay, he might have all these things, but he might not be a good leader. So this the so trait approach can be used as a getting a general idea to look for something. Okay, so these are the things we should look for, but we cannot depend upon that only. Okay, because what we can see is that most of these traits are basically pattern of behavior. Okay, see, if I am an honest person, I will behave accordingly. Okay? It's my behavior, it's my general nature. Okay? Most of these are behavior itself, your honesty, your self-confidence, how you behave, right? You behave with self-confidence. Okay, you behave that you have an ambition, so you'll be trying to do that, right? You'll be having good plans by doing the BTech itself. You'll have a plan. Okay, I'll open my company as soon as I complete my BTech. I'll open a software company, a firm. I'll open a software firm. I'll develop, or maybe I'll join a software firm, get some capital, and once that has been done, I've got some experience and capital. I'll open my own company. So that's showing your behavior, what drives you. Right? So that's what a trait approach is. Clear? So most of the traits are basically how you behave. Right? The next approach is contingency or situational approach. Okay, contingency or situational approach means this approach is very important to managers because they must consider situation when they design an environment for performance, right? So we were saying that managing means we are creating an environment, we are maintaining an environment so that people working alone or in groups can achieve their goal, right? Achieve the organization goal. So whenever the manager is creating or designing such an environment, he has to take care of the situation also. Like say for example, what if we are opening a company or we are opening a production plant. Okay, a production plant that is 40 kilometers from the nearest town, and we don't have any transportation facilities for that there also. Okay, no bus. It is no buses are flying in that route. Okay, we are opening city. So when the manager is designing a envelope, so he should make sure that he provides transportation, right, from the nearest town. Transportation is provided, because what will happen? The nearest town is 40 kilometers away. Okay, and if he is not providing transportation, or maybe like facilities for stay, accommodation, people will not come for the work. First of all, okay, even if people join there, then they will not be able to keep up the time. Okay? They will say we didn't get the vehicle. Okay, so everyone will not have their own vehicle. The manager, when designing, he should design in such a way that he provides the transportation. So he has to take the situation also into account. Right? The situation is there are no buses, right? Okay. Similarly, if I am opening a production plant in town, in that center of town, there is no issue with transportation. Then I need not be bothered about transportation. That means that there, in first case, I had provided transportation. Second case also, I have to provide transportation. No, buses are there. People can come and go at time, right? So whenever manager creates this environment, creates a is doing the managing, he has to take the situation also into account, right? So that's again common sense. Then Fred E. Fiedler, okay, Mr. Fred E. Fiedler and his associates came up with the contingency theory of leadership. So always try to learn the names also, right? Mr. Fred E. Fiedler. And what is this theory? Theory is that people become leaders not only because of their personality attributes. Okay? Attributes means the traits. Okay? It's not only because of the personality attributes, but also because of the various situation factors and the interactions between leaders and group members. Right? So there, what has to be taken, what you have to understand is what you have seen in movies. Okay? We have seen in almost all movies. Okay? The hero, because of certain situations, he'll become a leader. Okay? Villain will do something, so hero will be forced to react, and finally he will become the leader for the group. He will become the mass leader. Okay? That's the situation here also. The scary is that people become leaders not only because of the personality attributes. The personality attributes just play a role. Okay? The hero, he reacted because he was a good person, right? He was honest, he has integrity, he had an ambition, he had a drive. Maybe something was there, right? That his personal attributes were there. Okay, that's the reason why, because he only reacted. Okay, there are numerous people were there, but only he reacted. That means he has got something in him. So that personality attributes are there, but that is not only the factor. Okay, but also because of various situation factors and the interaction between leaders and group members, right? Otherwise what would have happened? Okay, the situation rose. Okay, there was a situation. That is the reason why the hero had to react, right? Otherwise there was no need. The hero reacted because there was such a situation. Yeah. So leaders are born or are created not only because of their traits, but personality traits, but also because of the situation and their interaction between the group members. Yeah. Like somebody he was harmed. Right? Somebody in the neighborhood of the or somebody in the family was harmed. That he became a leader. Same way. That is the principle over there. Okay. Clear? So according to Fiedler, there are dimensions of leadership. Yeah, there are three dimensions, three critical dimensions of leadership that helps to determine what leadership will be the most effective. So there are three dimensions of leadership. Okay, the first one is position power. Position power means this is the degree to which the power of a position enables a leader to get group members to follow his decisions. Okay, so here what happens is there is position has given him the power. Okay, so this is the power of the position that enabled a leader to get following. Okay, that is people are following because he is sitting in that power. Okay, he is sitting in that position. Maybe you can take an example of a minister. Okay, a minister, a person is there sitting in the ministerial chair. That's why whenever he's making decision, people are following, right? The same person is outside. Okay, outside he is not in position of minister. If he makes a decision, the same amount of people will not follow him. Okay, that position has given him the power. Okay, power position. Okay, it is the power arising from the organizational authority, right? It is the power which is arising from the organizational authority. So according to Friedler, a leader with clear and considerable position power can obtain good followership more easily. Yeah? One without the power, like we said, when I am sitting in the ministerial chair, when I am a minister, I can make some decision and people will follow me. Okay, but if I'm not there, if I'm not sitting in that position, even if I take a decision, people will not there. I will not have the same followership. Okay? A minister will have more followership than a leader. Same case. Okay? The position is giving you the power. The first dimension is position power. Okay, position power. The second dimension is task structure. Okay? So this dimension deals with the extent to which tasks can be clearly explained and people be held responsible for them. Okay? If tasks are clear, the quality of performance can be more easily controlled and group members can be held more responsible for performance. Right? So what happens is, say, for example, if I am asking you to prepare, in our company is there, I have asked you to prepare 100 pens. Okay, or rather, I have asked you to prepare pens. Okay, I'm not giving you a number. So I am not specifically given you a number. So what you will do? You do it according to yourself. Okay? Some may produce 100, some may produce 5, some may produce 10. Right? It will depend upon the people. Okay, what kind of a person they are. So what will happen? So there is no uniformity. But if I say I want you guys to prepare 100 pens in 1 hour. Okay? 100 pens in 1 hour. What will happen? You will be forced to prepare 100 pens in 1 hour. Right? So again, what will happen is that you prepare 100 pens. So some of you may prepare 100 black pens. Some will produce 50 black, 50 blue. Others will produce 25 black, 50 blue, 25 red. Right? Again, there will be variation will be there. But if I say I need 100 black pens in 1 hour, all of you will prepare the same. Right? All of you, every single one of you will prepare the same black pen in that 200 numbers in 1 hour as to prepare. Right? Now, what will happen if you don't? Then I can measure your performance also. Okay. So if you are producing 100 black pens, well and good. If you are not, so I can take corrective measures. I can make sure that you get more training, or I can even fire you. Right? I can replace you. So this dimension deals with the extent to which tasks can be clearly explained and people be held responsible. So 3 scenarios: make 100 pens in 1 hour, make 100 black pens in 1 hour. So there are 3 different texts I have given you, 3 different tasks I have given you. But each task became more and more clear, more and more explicit. Right? So you could clearly understand, and I can hold you accountable. Right? I have given you. I have created a situation where you can create 100 pens in 1 hour, and you have not prepared it. It's on you. See, you couldn't do it. You are the one at fault, right? So I can easily control or measure the quality, and also people can be held responsible for their performance, right? Yeah. So that is task structure, right? The third one is human or leader member relationships. Okay, the leader member relations. What happens is this dimension is most important according to Mr. Friedler. Friedler considers this dimension as the most important form from a leader's point of view. Okay, why? Because the position, power, and task structure may be under the control of organization, right? See, I am sitting in the position of a minister, right? Right. So my power is on the chair. Okay, that chair gives me power. Tomorrow the chief minister can throw me out. Okay, or the constitution of India can throw me out, right? That doesn't mean I'll be the same leader. People will not follow me. Okay, I am getting the leadership ability from the chair. Okay? So that can be that's under the control of the organization. Okay, tomorrow I can be replaced, right? Again, the task structure may be under the control of organization. Why? Because I am telling you I need to prepare 100 black pens, but from the top it may be changed into red pens. So again, that is under the control of organization. Not only up to me. Okay, but this dimension, that is leader-member relationship, deals with the extent to which group members like and trust leader, right, and are willing to follow that leader, right? So, but how much amount you like and respect a leader will depend upon the leader itself, right? How much you are willing to follow the leader, that will depend upon the only the leader. Okay? Because we say, right, respect is to be earned. Okay, we will give the chair the respect. Okay, he's sitting in that position, so we'll give a respect. We have seen in the movie 100 times. We have seen the dialogue, right? I respect the police will be the villain. Okay, I respect your khaki, but I don't respect you. Remove the khaki and they will fight. Right? We have seen that scene. That's the same scenario. Like khaki, the uniform is giving him the power. Okay, the position is giving him the power, and that is when that is gone, he's no longer in power, right? So he may not be leader, but if the people like him and people trust him as a leader, they will follow him. Okay? Whether he has the power or not. Again, we have seen in the movies, right? The leader will sacrifice everything. Say, I don't want the power, and he'll come down, and all his followers will be following him. Recently, we have seen the movie one, right? One, the final scene was the climax is the scene before climax. It was like that. Mahmoud was coming out of the secretariat, and his followers were coming behind it. Okay, did he have power? No. Have he given any task? No. But people like and trust him. That shows the leader-member relationship. Okay. So if we briefly run again, so there's two approaches: personality approach, trait approach, and contingency approach. Contingency approach of leadership. It was developed by Mr. Fred E. Fiedler. He developed the contingency approach, and according to this approach is that the managers or the leaders are created not only because of their ability or personality traits, or personal attributes, but also because of the situation and the relationship between the leaders and group members, right? So again, there are three critical dimensions for leadership. First one is position power. Okay? Position power means the position will give you the power, and people will respect and follow you because you are sitting in the position. Okay? The second one is task structure, right? So in task structure, what happens is this dimension is how well you are explaining a task. If you are explaining a task very clearly, you can hold people more responsible for that, and also can hold people more responsible and also measure their performance. Performance can be controlled, like 100 pens, 100 black pens, 3 cases. Can hold more, make the people more accountable. Performance manual control. Then leader-member relations is the one because other two, the power position and task structure, are both granted by the organization. Okay, the organization, they will depend upon the organization, right? And if it, but the relationships which you create, the member, okay, so it is based on trust and love. People like you, then you will be a good leader throughout, right? So we'll stop it today. If you have any doubt, please let me know. So I have given you some assignments